Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good day. I have learned that uh, I have not moved far enough south, and I don't think that there's a place in the U.S. that's far enough south because it's still only like 20, 30 degrees, and it snowed a little bit here today in Louisville, but that's still way too cold for me. I can't handle I know I'm from Western New York, but I can no longer handle anything that's like below 40 degrees. But anyway, today we're doing discussing questions for chapters 4 through 7 on $100 startup. And I just want to start off by giving a shout out to Camille for doing this, as well as encouraging me to continue to do these things because it's kind of hard to persist through when you're not getting the attention that you expect. But that's life, I guess. So first question is, uh, how do you give giving the market the fish? So in the uh, in the book, it talks about the example. The example is the guy breathing with Brandon who starts the music business or music. He starts his music thing or the music platform, and he gives the people the fish by simply he just has a an app, I guess if you will, and you can just plug in your schedule and the payment options and all this other stuff, and it just really just streamlines your whole business so that you can focus on teaching instead of doing administrative stuff. And it's and he gives his customers the fish by doing most of the work for them. So they just plug in, basically they just have to plug in the variables, as opposed to saying, hey, if you want to, this is a good way to do schedules, this is a good way to take payments, this is a good way to have like that your contact be talking to your customers. That's you're teaching the person how to fish instead of them just paying to for you to do all the hard work so that they can just focus on what they want to do. Another simple way is like shoes. Nobody wants to learn, how they cobble shoes, how the manufacturing or development process is. They just see a nice shoe, they just see a pair of nice shoes, and they want to be able to go to the store and purchase them. All right. The second question is key components of Brandon's market that he markets our teachers. He are the key components is that he basically, like I said, helps them streamline what they're doing, and then he also has varying scales. So not everybody, maybe you maybe only be having a couple people, so it doesn't. You're trying to spend the least money as possible. Whereas maybe if you're a little more organized, you may get more out of the more expensive subscription, because a lot of times, people in certain industries, they may not have a lot of money, so it's important to have different scales. Like for instance, with Dr. Boyce Watkins, what he likes to do, or what he does, and I see this happen with a lot of people too, is they'll have, the one-time fee of, let's say, like a yearly subscription or something like that. It'll be $2,000 or $3,000. Well, not everybody has $2,000 or $3,000, so what they do is have it set up so you can either pay it the one time and save some money, or you can go and pay, $180 a month, which is a lot more affordable for most people. And there's also, different levels. Like even maybe you can afford it, but you can get let's say the price difference is, let's say, $79 a month versus $120 a month. The difference in what those offer, the price between the price and what they offer, the extra stuff may not be worth it for whatever you're trying to accomplish. So it's important that you offer different levels so that you can make sure that you have the biggest, you can gain you gain the biggest market that you can. See, next question for chapter 4. Thoughts on being a Roman entrepreneur. I For me that was a yes and no question, or yes and no answer. It's more of, I would want it to be, if I make a trip to, let's say, Jamaica, or I go to Ghana or something like that, I would make the trip, but make the purpose of the trip basically, business centric. So I can have fun, I can hang out with people, I can do all this stuff, but my focus may be to go to a school, or go to maybe somebody I met online, go to their business and check it out, and basically either try to learn the market there, or and figure out how I can help that business, or possibly set up my own business. So basically, it's somewhat of a working vacation. The reason why I said no as well on it is, I didn't want to just be doing my business and just change the location all the time. So basically, I'm too focused on either doing the business, or that it doesn't interact. So I spend all this money, and I may go sightseeing and do this other stuff, but I'm dividing my time, as opposed to, I would much rather prefer personally to merge it instead. And then now I got on to chapter 5. How did the owners make the business people want to take part? How do they take part in their product? This one was about changing. It basically had to do with changing demographics. Typically speaking, you would have, let's say, a clothing line, or maybe a type of music, and it would generally be, people in college, from ages, or around college age, so let's say 17 to 25, and they tend to be single males, and things of that nature. This is kind of when you have a business that's more broad. And to me, to market that, when you have such a varying market, and it's not demographic specific, I think it's important that you instead of selling a product, or just doing, like, trying to obtain to those demographics, you sell a lifestyle. So like the coffee company was adventurers who liked a good cup of coffee. And it's a similar thing with the Black Business School. There's no age for investing. There's basically, you can there's different tailors to somebody, at different ages. For instance, if you're younger, you pretty much have access to everything can appeal to you, because as opposed to somebody who's maybe in their 50s or 60s that starts doing this, they're looking towards passing this on, versus somebody in their teenage or 20s, where they have a whole bunch of time to grow and invest, and they get the ones that basically build most of it, and they're not really concerned with passing it on, because they know that they're going to have the time, or hopefully they'll have the time, to invest in that, or to basically be part of that every step of the way of growing it before they pass it on. And next question is thoughts on surveys. What do you thought about them, if you would use them? I said yes, because it can basically save you time by giving you a better idea of what your market is and what exactly people are looking for. Because, for instance, they may want, like with the Black Business School again, they may want wealth, like to build wealth or make a bunch of money, but maybe they may be a tech person, so crypto may be more appealing to them. or they may be more standard, keep their job but investing. So then maybe the stock market would be more appealing to them. Or if you really hate your job and you're trying to get out of it, then the entrepreneurial side of starting your business would be the black or the classes that pertain to building your brand, building a business would be more appealing to you than, let's say, the stock market class. And also another thing that I always think about to increase your percentage of return, your numbers, is to offer an incentive. So say, for instance, a lot of places will do giveaways. They'll have, maybe a handful of $100 gift cards to Amazon. I think I like stuff like that because you keep a set cost. It's not like you have to give this out to every single person that takes the survey, and it's one of those incentives that will get a lot of people involved because they want to win. They want a shot to win that. And then the last question for the chapter: why is the customer not always right? Well, they talked about this. They made a point of the other one, which they made one point, which was, your product is not going to appeal to everybody. I mean, you're going to have a target market. Like, again, using the Black Business School, if you're not ready for that, then you complain about it, or you're called it, as boys like to say, a Negro naysayer, and you just always find something that's wrong with it. Some people are just gonna not like it. If you have, let's say, even if you have 100,000 people like buying your product, 1 or 2,000 people that aren't happy with it or think that it's dumb, it's whatever. I'm not. There's no point of focusing on that because I have a group. I have found a niche that I can easily generate substantial, a self-sufficient income off of. So I don't need to waste time when I could be growing my business and helping out those people that are ready, that are willing to pay. And that this goes into the next chapter, the next question for chapter 6, which is selling someone versus convincing someone. Again, I think about it. Of course, most of these businesses are online now, or we're doing most of these interactions online. However, I think it works better. A good analogy would be a face-to-face interaction. Let's say I'm at a public market and I'm selling T-shirts, and I'm telling this person, I'm telling you, you're gonna love this T-shirt. This is an awesome T-shirt. Everybody's gonna be like, where did you get that? It's gonna be inspirational. You're gonna think about it. It's gonna empower you, or maybe you have jackets or whatever it is. Purses. Girls are gonna be jealous of this. They're gonna wish they could have one, and I haven't seen anything like this. Stuff like that. Or a jacket that's really warm and it's lightweight. You're using you're trying to convince this person, trying to sell. Meanwhile, I'm so focused on this, and then the person's like, excuse me, yeah, just a moment. I'm telling you, you need to do this. And then this person's sitting there, they have their wallet in their hand, ready to, for you to run their card. They got the product in their hand. They're sitting there waiting for you. And it's like you're sitting there convincing this one person that they really need, that you really want them to buy your product. And they're like, I don't know, maybe. And while the whole time you're doing that, you missed out on the person who was money in hand, ready to buy. Another saying that I thought of is, one in the hand is worth two in the bush. So you always got to take, as appealing as the possibilities may be, you gotta go for the guarantees. Sometimes you just have to go with the guarantee and take the sure thing. Next question: why is it important to keep costs low? Well, it's because you don't want to. Again, they talk about this. You don't want to waste money on something that's. You don't want to waste money on something that's not going to work, on something that on something that just basically goes nowhere, that people don't really want to buy, or they don't want to buy at whatever price point that you put it at. And another thing is too, is start off by picking either inexpensive ideas or stuff that involves, or at the very if it's a tie, go with something that may, well, not a tie, but go with something to save money. Also, go with something that involves more time. For instance, let's say making videos on and putting them on Facebook or on social media, because basically you can gain a similar experience that you would doing something else. Let's say similar to let's say if I was interested in doing a TV show, instead of doing a TV show, I can put all the same effort, but I can do this, keep my costs low, but I'm still using up the same amount of time. And the reason why that's important is because, one, you can, again, save money. You gain the experience. You're still gaining the experience, and through that, even if that idea still ends up failing, you gain the experience, but then you have the money to, say, put towards your other idea that all of a sudden through this have become more knowledgeable on. And now, because you saved money on this experiment, now you can invest in something that you have a better wherewithal to get your return on that. And the next question is market before manufacturing. It's similar. It's a similar idea. So basically, similar to keeping costs low to kind of figure out what you want to do. One of the ideas that I had was basically doing something that doesn't take too much time and has a high guarantee of return. For instance, in our masterminds group, Camilla was talking about how she sold pies at her job. Now, her business that she's maybe pursuing or may pursue in the future may have absolutely nothing to do with selling pies, but perhaps she can learn stuff about marketing, sales, things of that nature, and also, while she's learning, she's generating money off of that, so that she basically all of a sudden now you're able to bankroll. You're using a simple idea a more basic idea that works, selling food, and you're able to take those profits and bankroll them into another idea, so that again you're reducing your risk for your future experiments future ideas that you want to pursue. Then we go to chapter 7, which was about an offer, giving your customers an offer that you can't refuse. And it talks about creating a sense of urgency. And for me, I'll admit it was when products are offered at seminars. They give, like, sometimes if there's a break or something like that, they'll be like, we're offering this today. We're going to be at the back of the room selling these products. We'll have we got a bunch of people back there that are ready to answer your questions and to get you on your way. And it basically creates a sense of urgency. And then, especially when you start to see most of the people there go up, you feel, that it's that peer pressure gets to you. You feel left out. And again, Dr. Watkins does this. He has done this with his webinars, where like when we first signed up for the mastermind, the Freedom Family program, he created scarcity by saying, we're doing this for the weekend, but we're only taking 200. We're only taking 200 subscriptions, 200 families. And so once those subscriptions are up, then that's it. We don't know how long it's going to last, but once those sales are complete, then your best chance is to get on a waiting list. And, they talked about how, don't guarantee that if you, wait till then, that this is going to work out. And I'll admit that I've made a couple of bad decisions. I've made a couple of too quick decisions I fell for it, unfortunately. And I wasn't necessarily duped, but I didn't really make the wise decision at the moment. And that not in regards to the business school, the Freedom Family, but stuff that I did before that I wish I would have waited and then just did the Freedom Family. But I feel like in the end, those investments will still work out. However, just not as quickly as I may have. It may have been more beneficial for them to work out. Let me see. Oh, and then the given again with the how do you creating customer confidence. Again, Dr. Watkins does that, and by the way, this is one of the last questions of how he has done that. But another way he does that is by making it so that you can sign up for the stuff in the Black Business School and not sign up for stuff in the Black Business School, and you don't have to pay money for the first month. So you get to try it out, and if you don't like it, you can cancel your subscription. That basically builds confidence that there's no risks. That you do the program and you don't have to put your money down for the first month. You get a chance to try it out and see if it's something that's going to work for you, something that you're interested in. And he also talked about not just giving the people what they want, but making sure that you give it to them when at the right time. His example was marathon runners giving them oranges at the right time, and then donuts at the end versus during the race. And one of the things that I kind of thought about too was, or with this, is car sales, and this goes along with sense of urgency as well, which is they kind of get you like, oh, this Black Friday deal, it's once in a lifetime deal, or not once in a lifetime deal now, even though you have to go get it now, even though once if you see it enough, there's always deals. They're always giving away deals all the time to get people to buy cars. But particularly with the bad credit, no credit people, one of the things that they like to do is, they know tax time is always the big one. They always is, and a lot of businesses do that too. They know that in these next couple of months, people are going to start getting their taxes back, so they want to jump on that, and they want to get that, and they want to get on that and make sure that once you get that tax money, it's going right to them. They don't want to give you any time to think about it, that you may invest it, may do this, may do that. And yeah, again, and I pretty much covered the last question, like I said, with Dr. Boyce Watkins. I hope this was helpful for you guys. So please like, share, and subscribe, and keep on working every single day. Make sure that you're doing something productive, and don't let the plantation get the best of you. All right, peace.